Hey guys, this is Jochen. Welcome to my channel. This morning around 7 AM, Fujifilm presented the first lens with an aperture of 1.0 and autofocus for mirrorless cameras. I would like to discuss with you what is this lens all about? What are the advantages and disadvantages? With which lenses does it compete? Would I buy the lens? All of this here and now. First, as usual, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down there. This would really help me a lot. And if you really like my content, consider buying me a coffee via buymeacoffee.com. First of all, let's talk about the lens specifications, then I'll go into more details. The lens belongs to the high-quality lenses of the XF series from Fuji. The 50mm focal length in APS-C corresponds to about 75mm in full format. The maximum aperture of 1.0 makes the lens an absolute novelty, as it is the first such fast lens with autofocus according to Fujifilm for mirrorless systems. The R in the name stands for the aperture ring that is installed on almost all Fujinon lenses and goes from 1.0 to f16. The WR in the name means weather resistant, meaning that the lens is protected from dust and splash water. The lens consists of 12 elements in 9 groups, including 1 spherical element and 2 ED elements to reduce aberrations. It weighs 845 grams, has a length of 103.5 millimeters and a filter diameter of 77 millimeters. And last but not least, the minimum shooting distance of this lens is 0.7 meters. And it costs $1,499 or 1,599 euros. Let's talk about what we have here. First of all, Fujifilm says the lens is the world's first AF-capable f1.0 interchangeable lens for mirrorless digital cameras. Okay, if they say so, I'll save myself the research and just believe it. But as usual, I have already seen discussions in which it is claimed that the new lens corresponds to 1.2 full-frame lenses, and of course there are already some with autofocus. I don't know why that should be a contradiction in terms of the uniqueness of the lens. Aperture 1.0 is aperture 1.0. Please feed my knowledge in the comments. Anyway, as for the autofocus of the lens, it should work in almost dark situations. The value mentioned here is -7 EV, but only on the X-T4 or X Pro 3. I don't know why the X-T3 is not mentioned, which has the same processor and sensor as the other two. Can you help me? With a focal length of around 75mm in full format, the lens is of course ideal for working on portraits. The 1.0 aperture naturally provides many options for separating the object from the background, and because of the construction it is said to produce a very nice bokeh. In fact, the most beautiful bokeh ever seen. Okay, well, regarding the promotional video about the lens released today, I would of course be interested to test it right now on my next portrait shoot. And for all non-portrait photographers, the new lens will of course be the fastest option in low light situations ever. The lens supposedly seems to have a very fast and accurate autofocus, also in combination with face and eye recognition. Of course, that brings me to a comparison with the other portrait options for the Fuji X system. On the one hand, there is the previous queen of portrait lenses, the XF 56 f1.2, a lens that I mainly use myself for every portrait shoot. By the way, it's not the APD version, but there is still that one too. Then there is a 50mm f2 from the comparatively inexpensive WR series from Fuji, also equipped with very fast autofocus and weather sealing. And then there is the 90mm f2 from Fuji and the 85mm f1.8 from Viltrox, which are also very popular in the field of portraits, but which I will leave behind for today. The 56 lenses, introduced already in 2014-2015, obviously can't keep up with the AF performance of the new one, even if I really can't complain about it much from my practical experience, at least not with my X-T3. Another advantage of the new lens is of course the weather sealing, which I sometimes miss on my 56, but the 50mm f2 has it already. Of course, this one is far away from being as fast as the new option, but 1.0 is just really extraordinary or even unique. But from my point of view, there are of course some disadvantages. For one thing, there is size. At Fujirumors, who, as always, had given us great information in advance about the upcoming announcement, a few days ago there was a picture with a size comparison that I don't want to hold back from you. And here you can already see what a chunk the 1.0 lens is. By the way, at first Fuji had planned a 33mm 1.0 instead of the 50mm, but that would have become even bigger and impractical, so that they switched to the other focal length. At 850 gram, the 50mm f1.0 is obviously at a disadvantage compared to the 200 gram of the 50mm f2 and also the 405 gram of my 56. You have to carry around a lot more with you. But in general, I would assume that it's worth the back injury if I have a look at the example images. It all looks really great, and I am curious whether the first independent reviews will confirm this impression. So why don't I run off and just order the lens right now? Well, because the last major downside is the price. Don't get me wrong, I don't think that 1,600 euros is too much money for a lens with these properties, but for me as an amateur, the purchase of the 56 for 900 euros was the maximum what I would like to afford for my hobby. Nevertheless, I would be very happy if I could test the lens at least once. Let's wait and see, maybe there will be an opportunity. Until then, I would love to read your thoughts on the lens in the comments. What do you like? What do you dislike about it? Are you even thinking about getting the lens? I'm very interested in all of this, because I definitely would love to at least try out this new beast. That was a rhyme, wasn't it? For today I have to say goodbye without portraits with the new lens. But at the end I will show you some of my recent shots with the 56mm and the 35mm 1.4. I plan a video about these two anyway. Also have a look at my portraits on Instagram. I would be happy about your feedback there. Until then, take care, have a good time. Ciao!